Orange and white. Orange and white. Orange and white. Bright at night. That's my BNSF Railway coffee cup. It's a little bit dirty. But just finished my coffee. It is Sunday morning. We're going to do this on Monday morning. Or you guys are seeing this on Monday morning. Ooh, just knocked over some of my cards. There we go. A lot of people that I've given my cards to, you see this. Let's read this really quick. If a task once begun, sorry, it was upside down. If a task once begun, never leave it till it's done. Be that labor big or small, do it well or not at all. That is the real deal. Because it is real. If you're going to do a task, if a task once begun, never leave it till it's done. Be that labor big or small, do it well or not at all. I want to do some ivy on that. I'm supposed to finish up ivy on this. The turf is a little too forest green, I would say. If you could see that Woodland Scenics. I actually got a message from my friend Mariscalco, John Mariscalco. Look at that. Josh Gordon, the man. I'm sitting and just thinking how this is going to get done. What are we going to do? Because I'm going to finish putting this loco together, and then we're gonna run it on a DC layout. We're not going to go DCC. We're just DC all the way. I got to figure it out. Gotta figure it out. Projects upon projects, but we don't. Gotta finish that project. That one right there. Anyways, but like I said, turf color is too dark, so I'm gonna go to Reed's Hobby. If you're ever in La Mesa, go to Reed's Hobby. So yeah, gonna go over there and grab a little bit of the perfect color of turf. I think today is Turf Day. I don't know. Maybe that might be the Del Mar horse racing in me. Because the Del Mar Fair is in full effect, but then as of next week, it will not be here anymore, and we will be on to the horse races. Anyway, Suntreat Growers have the board out. So as you can see, we're going to do parking lot here, fence line there. Boof, 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 boof. Use the Woodland Scenics pre-built, which I have over on Mahalo Bay. The telephone pole lighting kits, where it's like a telephone pole, but there's a light that comes out, like a little gooseneck light. And I always like those kind of things on the kits. You could see them on many of buildings where they got the little gooseneck lamp at the top over those sheds. So we're going to do gooseneck lamp, gooseneck lamp, gooseneck lamp, and then we'll bring it on down. And just to light this little thing and just give a little pizzazz. All right, let's go over here because you tuned in for Magazine Monday, not any type of project update. So let's get to our magazines. We're going to do the Reading August of 94. Why do I feel like I've done that magazine? Speaking of the Reading, one of the newer designs on the Railroads Rock merch store is a Monopoly guy. No, it's the Monopoly Railroad tag. You know what? Having said that, just go over to the merch store after this show and just help support the podcast, help support what we're trying to accomplish over here. I say we because it's me and my homeboy Evan G. We have the Railroads Rock show. And let's see what we got. 3 magazines. Let's pick 1 or 2. 7 great how-to articles. You know what? I'm always how-to, and let's grab these 3. Imagination. That's from last week. Let's see what we got. All right. Haven't looked through these. Let's go over here. Over here. Over here. Okay, so there's this guy. Okay, first of all, let's get rid of some of this glare. I can't stand the glare. I'm so sick and tired of this glare in this garage. I love it, but I can't. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, I love Santa Fe. That looks like a Kato, if you are posh. A Kato GP35. You can tell because, A, back in the day, this had, I mean, obviously this is 96, so Kato had these kits. Why does that look like metal? I feel like this is a Kato GP35 with metal replacement, but then it's plastic. You could see how he painted them. Maybe it's because the plastic was gray. So you're seeing like... Yeah. You know what? I need to get a pointer. Let's see what we got. How can I point? I don't want to use my finger. My fingers are disgusting. Let's look around here. Dartboard. Diorama. Oh, I'm doing dioramas, by the way. $60 if you want one. Little ones, though. Like simple ones. If you want to go bigger. I can't find these things. But anyway, 60 to like $150. We're going to do simple dioramas of just stuff like this. But this is like, that's a $250 to $300 diorama with all the fencing and whatnot. And then the one up top, that's at least a $500 diorama. But this one behind me, that's a $200. And then we have smaller ones, which is, whatever. Who gives a shit? I can't find a pointer. This is driving me nuts. Where are my pointers? M-Track CF7. I know Rapido is going. You know what? We're going to just use this. No, we're not going to use that. We're going to use this. All right, perfect. A little bit of styrene. Love this boat. Athearn, you guys and your little boats. All right, what are we going to do first? Let's go. I love this one. This is, but I feel like I've done this one before. September 96. Dave Barrow. I don't know if it shows. You can build this sectional layout. Yes, you can. It's the Cat Mountain. I mean, I think it's the Cat Mountain, as I remember it. Anyways, which is so funny that I was just talking about Kato, new Atlas and Kato HO diesels, which ties into this because GP35s in the mid-90s from Kato were so awesome. I remember one of the fellas down at the La Mesa Model Railroad Club, Buck, had a couple of SD40-2 Kato units. And I say a couple, I think he had like 9 of them. In the Santa Fe, blue and yellow war bonnet, the yellow bonnet as they call it. Or as a few people call it, buxom blondes. The blondie. Blonde bombshells. Let's get into this, though. Yay, Atlas track. Didn't last too long. I'm not a fan of that track. I like the easy track. I really do. Easy track is a little bit more easy. Let me back up. Let me get some of this light on here. It sucks because of the light reflection, but at the same time, we're winning, so I don't want to block anything out. Where are we going? Pacachow. America's Hobby Center. Buy stuff. Buy stuff. Get more stuff. Here we go. I'm just going through. Buy stuff. Buy stuff. Get more stuff. I feel like I'm missing stuff here. Chill out, brah. It's all good. We've got a little bit of the stuff with the things and the stuff. Northern Pacific. Gotta love them. Here we go. Kato's HO-9. Now, this thing was a benchmark. I'll tell you why. Look at this first. Let's get in on this. Take a look at the windows. First of all, I love the Chicago Northwestern -9. Okay? A couple things wrong with this unit. I mean, first of all, let's just go. You got horn hook couplers on this thing. What are we doing? I mean, this is still the 90s, so I get it. It all came in flat form kit as far as all of the stanchion. I'm just going to use my finger. What are we doing here? All the stanchions here. All the grab irons. So you had to kind of cut them out of a piece of flat form plastic. Kind of like the early Genesis. Everybody says 1.0. I say Genesis 0.0001. Because it's slowly upgraded over about a 10-year period, and then all of a sudden you're just like, this is awesome. But when properly applied, this is a great-looking locomotive. And, I mean, they still stand up today. And we're talking like 1990s looking stuff. So, boom, And with a little bit of can-do attitude and upgrade, you, too, can have this awesome model from Kato, USA. Look at that. Okay, so let's see. This was kind of all correct as far as you have the low number boards on the Chicago Northwestern with the low ditch lights. On the Santa Fe, the originals, the 600 series, 600 to 699. You had the low ditch lights below the anti-climber and the high number boards. And then nobody cares about Canada. But, ha-ha! There's a good picture of it. Oh, my gosh. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. 605. Or is that 603? I can't tell. Looks like a 605 and a 603 put together. So it's 608. It's like when some girl's flashing you her number back in the day at the football game, and you're all like, Yo, is that a 2 and a 5 or is that a 7? Boom. Yeah, but you could see the ditch lights below the anti-climber, high number boards. Ba ba ba. Everybody knows what's going on. And we continue. Just so you know, next month we're going to do something else with the war bonnet. Because that sells. It really does, though. Huge fan of this C30-7 diesel. This is, I believe, an Atlas. Is this Atlas? Atlas. I can't even see where it says Atlas. Ba 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 ba. Let's see. What is it? It's got to be the Atlas model. Where is it? Let's see. Manufacturer, locomotive. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. There it is. Atlas manufacturer. Okay, yeah, perfect. So I love this right here. Well done on the ducting and grilling and access panel work. Look at that. What a great looking unit. I mean, they even made the horn hook coupler gray. Good stuff. And here's a great picture of it, just in case you want to see it in real life, or as they say, the prototype. In prototypical running, we have this, and we did this. Yahtzee! Anyways, good job, Atlas. Also, totes faves. I have one of these models, C30-7. Only mine is a white face. That one is a... Anyways. Marklin. I want my Marklin. I want my Marklin. I run my Marklin. Who wants a Marklin? It's Z-Scale Marklin. You get your Marklin. I want my Marklin. All right. Keep going. Buy stuff. Longs, if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. All right, let's keep moving here. Pop, love it. Let's see what we got here. Well, don't blame me. I told you to include some access hatches. Oh, sorry. Don't blame me. I told you to include some access hatches. Fill in the blank on what that is. It's like the same person with a wig. What are you guys, twins? Hate me, I don't care. Look at this. God, Kodachrome, give us the night's bright colors. Blee, blah, blah, blee, blah, blee, blah, blah, blah. Kodachrome. So cool. So cool, Atlas. Good job, Atlas. Good job! Good job. Great stuff. Hello, we're Athearn. We're trying to do stuff, too. Anyways, love it, because what is that? Tehachapi Pass right there. Only they put a house in front so you wouldn't recognize it. Tards. Oh, Athearn. Oh, Cat Mountain, South Plains District. Let's rock. Look at this sectional. I feel like this is like before Fremo became a thing, because Fremo is where it's at now. But I love how this, as they say, I think it's, yeah, dated. I mean, the illustrations are by Mr. Rick Johnson. Your name is Richard Johnson? No, I said Rick. Yeah, but is your name Richard? Yes. So your name's Dick Johnson? Maybe. All right, we'll just pretend that's real. I love that GP35, though. That has got to be a Kato unit. Probably a Details West air conditioning something or other. I mean, aftermarket, definitely. And then, obviously, he painted it with a brush. I would have pulled those out and just done them spray paint style. Because you could see all the chunks and what. You could see where you had to cut away the sprues. But hey, man. It's the 90s, bro. Love those. Oh, man. Those tank cars are so rad looking. Zutolo. So let's take a look. Pretty much he's just describing a Fremo layout. Here it is in the corner. Hi, I had to move, so I don't have my nice big layout anymore. But this is what I love the colors that are used, though. It's not exactly Sherman green. It's not OD green. And then everything else, if you look, you've got this kind of placid open plains blue sky. And if you're from Texas, you know that blue sky is real. And I believe this is supposed to be northwest Texas, so on the upper side near Amarillo. or like north of Amarillo. Yes, I said Amarillo. That's how it's pronounced. For all of my Mexican gang, it would be Amarillo. 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 Because I live in San Diego, and I got a lot of homies down here that would punch me in the face if I pronounced it any other way. But it is Amarillo. And that's the way it goes, bro. So, boom. I love this picture. Cat Mountain. Got a little bit of a mechanical reefer there, don't you, mate? Look at that go. We got a nice little corner piece here. Boosh, boosh, boosh. I love how he uses common board. It's very sharp, but at the same time, you get great, when you join all the pieces together, you get good joining. I wonder if he did say on the thing, you can see Dave Barrow right there. I'm sure he has passed. If he is still alive, God bless him. Rock and roll, bro. But he's pretty old when these articles came out, and that was 30 years ago now. Holy shit, this is 30 years ago. Weird. There's a GP35 without the AC. You would never see that on a Santa Fe, anything from the late 80s onwards. But if this is maybe early 70s, mid 70s, the Yellow Bonnets did not have AC units. So you could see they were kind of the transition. So maybe he's, doing that. Maybe he's doing that thing, mate. But I love this. Get out a triangle, get some track out, and get some that out. And anyways, I love that the model of the month is an I think this is an SF30C. Let me look. Let's see. There it is. It's summer afternoon somewhere in the Midwest as Santa Fe SF30C hits a short low kill. Doug Evans of... No way is this an O... It's an Overland O-scale brass locomotive. He also took the photo. The background is Indiana in mid-July by Doug Fields. But... let's use the proper language. But Doug feels it looks like many places on the Santa Fe between Chicago and Fort Worth. Very true, bro. Good job, Dougie. That looks so good. I'm so glad you took this on an outdoor diorama. Andrew Garcia does good sound work. You can look him up on the old Instagrams. And I actually did no scale outdoor module for him. Not a module, a diorama. I wonder if he still has it. I gotta ask him. Anyways, look at that. Even has the ducting fan inlet where you'd see right there how the A is actually out because there's like some sort of filter duct right there. I don't know why that was like that, but hey, let's see. Can you read it? There you go. It's Argentine Yard. Argentine shops. Some of the rebuilds were Claiborne. That's the street I used to live on. Claiborne shops. That's a beautiful looking picture. And we're going to kind of end here because, oh my God. Hang on. Love this picture. I don't even know. That is just so vast looking. But look at this. This one's for you, Mariscalco, and anybody else. Mac Attack! Stick around. We're going to be doing Mac Attack series. I got to get a hold of those. What'd you use, bro? It says, 2 Burlington Northern SD60 Macs. Hang on. These 2 Burlington Northern SD60 Mac demonstrators are working hard through Sedalia, Colorado. Maybe it could be Sedalia. On Gary Hoover's H.O. Missouri and Kansas Quincy layout, the fisherman doesn't look like a rail fan. He'll probably be much happier when the train has passed. Gary of Florissant, Missouri took the photo. Well, good job, Gary. Good job indeed. And whoever modeled those. Gosh. Look at that. Those are the SD60 Mac demonstrators. Look them up. Real deal, bruh. All right, I think we're just going to end there. Let's see what the along the line is on this magazine, and then we'll get to other stuff another time. U25Bs. Look at that. What are those? No, it says, yeah, there it is. U25B number 226, teamed up with GP38261. Montague, Massachusetts. Eh? Montague, very, very Shakespearean. Very Shakespearean. Oh my gosh! I have done this magazine before, or either that, or this is one of my favorite pictures, period. I have to have done this before on a Magazine Monday. Maybe it was on my Instagram page, and now we're doing YouTube, but oh my gosh. 2 70 tonners. God, I love these units, man. I have a Southern Pacific Tiger Strike one. I just love it. This is very East Coast. and just two 70-tonners. And I love how he modeled them with the vents open on the top. So probably cut those away, because normally I think Bachmann, you can get their 70-tonners without, or it's the vent is closed. But that's generally when you're running. I mean, that opens and closes as it needs more airflow, as they say, mate, or exhaust, because it has the vent in the front, and then it goes out the top. And then there's your exhaust stack. So this is the cooler. This is the radiator. Anyways, man, I love it. Good job. Humble beginnings. Let's read this and see if it focuses. Let's see. Will you focus? Whatever. I'll just read it and you guys go. These two Shorey Valley 70-ton General Electric locomotives hardly rate a glance from a cow as they trundle by with the daily mixed freight. Although not terribly powerful, these engines and their cousins that make up the balance of the SV roster are perfectly suited to the short lines, light rail, and sharp curves. Modern-era modelers may chuckle at these small locomotives, but don't forget, today's huge AC6000s can trace their lineage back to 44 and 70-tonners. Beautiful. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Happy Magazine Monday. We'll see you next time on the Railroads Rock Show. New episodes coming out. We try and get them out every Wednesday. If we miss, that's only because we're on vacation. That's right. We'll see you guys later. Rock and roll.